Thank you to the CLA for having me on a full jam-packed day of engaging and collaborative content. Gary, I'm surprised you put me so early in the morning. High risk, high reward, I guess. I'm a bit fast and loose with my talk tracks, but I'll try and keep it together. So as mentioned in my intro, I am the Director of Dealer Product and Integrations. So normally I would be up here talking to you about our products. I would be up here talking to you about DealerTrack's risk indicators, helping combat fraud. Potentially our venture into machine learning and behavior tracking of our users. It could be talking about our newest foray that was most recently in the press of our IDV product coming to market with Interact and Equifax. But I think I drew the short end, and I've been asked to razzle-dazzle you about some data. I'm not normally a data speaker, so you'll have to bear with me. I'll do my best to make sure that it's pretty engaging for you. So we're going to talk through the modern car buyer's journey. Trader is comprised of 4 business units for anyone who doesn't know. We have Autotrader.ca, our consumer marketplace, where we have 400,000 pieces of inventory at any given moment. We have AutoSync, which is our suite of dealer software. We have DealerTrack Canada, obviously, with our 1.2 billion data points of unique data every single day. And our newest family member, our CMS collateral management solutions. A 2022-2023 Clairvoyance survey determined that Autotrader.ca actually helped influence 60% of all of the car financed in Canada. Now, that influence is broad. That influence stems from research components, from a lot of comparison components, and of course from pricing essentials. All of the things that consumers come to Autotrader to do beyond just browsing for vehicles. So we're going to talk a little bit about the slice of that data because I am honored to talk about our entire family of brands today. So understanding that car buyer's journey. So our shopping profiles. We have had an influx in first-time buyers in the last couple of years. There's 2 main catalysts for this. The first is public transportation. Bless the TTC, the GO train, e-bikes. It's a choice. It's a choice not everyone wants to make. It's a choice not everyone can afford to make. And then there's also the dreaded return to office. Everyone's favorite words. There was a few years there where we all had terrifying hairstyles and many people got dogs. We're through that now, and we have to now find a way to get to the office again. Some people relocated much further than they wanted to, and the reality of a commute is the inevitable barrel that they're looking down. On the flip side of new car buyers, we have a segment of what we would call the experts, the people who are 3-4 cars deep. These are people who, are walking into dealerships acting like they own the place. They're walking into a finance office and they know more about what you're going to do for them than they do. So no matter what, though, it doesn't matter which segment you're in, there is a big consideration for cross-shopping. Everyone on Autotrader is cross-shopping between new and used. It doesn't matter whether you want to aspire to have a new vehicle. Oh, hi, Ann. Whether you want to aspire to have a new vehicle or you're willing to start with a used vehicle, most consumers are dabbling in both. And that's because the very first hurdle any car buyer is facing now is the inevitable vehicle price trends. The increase in the cost of a vehicle in the last 5 years speaks for itself. I'm not going to read it for you because everyone can see it. So our prices have risen both on used and new. And this barrier is what's causing consumers to do much more in the research phase than they ever have before. People used to come to Autotrader.ca thinking, I want to buy a new car, or I want to buy a new to me car. And when they see that first barrier of price, they're immediately discouraged. So they're spending a lot more time browsing and trying to convince themselves of coming over that affordability hurdle, which is making consumers look for more opportunity and more items, more places where you financial institutions can get in front of them sooner. So let's talk about the research journey. In the research journey, 93% of all visitors on AutoTrader are classed in research. There is 30% who teeter outside of research and go more into our what we would call transact or intenders, but 93% of the 11 million Canadians that we have monthly on AutoTrader are researching with an intent to purchase a vehicle. They're shopping across 65 million VDPs, or vehicle detail pages, which is indicative of tremendous compare. There is no consumer who is landing on AutoTrader and finding the car of their dreams on the very first shot. Now, another big increase in the last few years is, and it all stems to that affordability and the car prices, is consumers wanting to make sure that they can in fact afford it. Are they going to buy a dozen eggs, or are they going to buy a new car? They do have to make these decisions now because everything in the world is so expensive. So consumers more often are looking for the ability to pre-qualify, give themselves that comfort instead of having some, disastrous disappointment when they do find the car of their dreams. And they're also looking to ensure that they have live and accurate trade appraisals. That current ride that they're driving, that they're tired of, that isn't serving them anymore, they want to make sure that they're getting the most out of it, and it's going to apply the best positive equity to their new transaction. Now, because of affordability and the change in our climate, more consumers are doing more in the research phase, but more of them are looking to transact online, as the previous panel so nicely segued for me. And there's way more buyer intent artifacts that they're looking to complete as part of the buying journey. So previously, the staples of the end of a digital journey was, I've been pre-qualified, I'm going to drop a lead to the dealer, maybe I'll put a deposit down. Now you can see here that we have consumers who are looking to go way deeper in the funnel online. They're looking to secure financing, they're looking to buy their warranties. That deposit is still prevalent in our industry, but 74% are looking to go all the way through and sign and finalize their contracts online. This is consumer intent. This is the consumer want. Obviously, as an industry, and Lillian mentioned it, we are going to be harnessed by the ability in the industry. Not every financial institution is ready to adopt full digital contracting, full digital signature. I think, though, as we continue, and if we all align together, seeing what the consumer intent is looking for, we can chip away and get this entire industry digitized sooner than we think. So more consumers are doing way more online than they ever did before. What does that really mean to those in the room? So from an application performance standpoint, if we think of what is this doing to portfolios, to books, when consumers are doing more online and less in dealership, less gates from our dealers? Well, everything is trending awesome. So 21% of resubmissions are down. We are submitting to approval faster than ever before, and we are submitting to fund faster than ever before. I'm not going to say that the only lever here is that consumers are doing more of the work online, but it's one of the levers that are helping these metrics. Now, the last piece, which I think is super compelling, is the actual transaction profiles. So Dan mentioned in the last panel about F&I spend. So my favorite stat of this entire presentation is that F&I spend is up 10% in the last 24 months. And these are of consumers shopping online. So any of the sentiments or hurdles that we all might think we have of consumers transacting online, meaning less profitability in store, is absolutely not true. We are learning that when consumers have more time to digest and to even compare what those F&I products look like, to bring home literature, to read it at their own speed, to really decide, and rather than get pushed potentially to purchase, they are actually spending higher than they ever have before. Amount to finance is also trending up, but it's pretty negligible in the industry. And the same thing with our monthly payments. These are equating to the fact that the car sales has grown in the last 5 years. Given that amount to finance hasn't increased as much as actual car sales has, this is indicative of consumers making smart investments. They are turning in their equity of their trade-ins. They're ensuring they're applying any and all equity they can into that asset to make sure that they stay right side up on all of their transactions. If you're going to take anything away from me today other than my sweet jokes, I would say for all of the lenders, you just need to be where the consumers are. They're looking for you. They are looking to have a number of these transaction points sooner in the journey than ever before. And when they can't find you, they're choosing someone else. So look at your roadmaps, look at where you think all of the consumer landscape is, and make sure that you're playing where the consumers are. And that's it. Thank you.